This is Clacton in the 1920s, seen through the camera of a holiday maker. In those days you could buy a camera for £5 and a roll of film for 2 shillings, 10 pence, and you could make a minute's record of your holiday, and that's exactly what this is. Now this is Clacton Pier, but why everyone is looking at us and waving at us, I'm not really sure. Here they're taking part in a little play. Members of the audience came up and acted out a little story. It's about a woman being found with another man. Her husband deals with him, but then there's yet another man hiding behind the chair. In this first run-through, that man turned out to be the director. He then tells everyone what to do as members of the audience come up and take part in this little play. In those days, you had to make your own entertainment. Well, it seems to be a typical summer's day. The wind was blowing so much that the paddle steamer had difficulty landing at the end of the pier. These paddle steamers worked from the Thames estuary up the coast, calling at the piers. You could go on a day trip from Southend, Clacton, Walton-on-the-Naze, Felixstowe, Southwold, Lowestoft or Yarmouth. They were known as bell boats because they were called Yarmouth Bell and Southwold Bell. If the wind was really keen, you could go below and watch the pistons hissing up and down. These films are local newsreels made by cinema owners and shown in the town. Unfortunately, many of these local newsreels have been lost over the years, but some have survived from the 1920s and 30s, like the opening of the recreation ground at Clacton in 1929. This is Clacton in wartime. There's lots of comings and goings, but for very different reasons to holiday time. The little boxes round people's necks are the clue here, for they are gas masks belonging to these evacuees. They're off on a train to somewhere from Clacton station. They seem to be enjoying the outing. The streets seem deserted in Clacton and the shops are boarded up. But it didn't mean they were closed, for behind that panelling it was business as usual. Access was through the little doors in the wood. It's 1952 now, and a wonderful chance to look round the town, because Mr. Broom of Walton-on-the-Naze came here to take shots for a film he was making in that year. These evocative scenes show us the streets, the shops, and even the council in session. "5 years on, 1957, and the search is on for the ideal holiday girl of Clacton. On to the 1960s now, to Kenneth Race's bakery at Clacton, where Sidney Manasseh recorded the making of Essex crumpets.
Now is the winter of our discontent made glorious summer. Old Shakespeare could have written that here on a fine spring day. Nobody about to enjoy it, but it won't be like that much longer. They'll soon be queuing up for a bird's eye view of the town. It isn't till you get up there that you realise how big Clacton-on-Sea really is. In fact, it's three places. Clacton in the middle, with Holland-on-Sea at one end and Jaywick Sands at the other. Joined together, they make over 4 miles of some of the finest seaside in the country. The holiday season starts early with tulip time. Practically every garden in the town is packed solid with tulips. It's a rare sight, especially on the seafront. Those gardens are kept bulging with flowers right through the summer. It's surprising the number of people who think all our fish is local caught. The fishing here is good, but not that good. This fellow landing himself a skate has done pretty well, but a day's fishing off the pier is a reward in itself, no matter what the catch. Mind you, a good catch does make the day, especially during the cricket festival, when Essex are at home for a week in the county championship. In its time, the Clacton ground has seen some great batting and bowling. Of course, there's bowling and bowling, depending on how you look at it. Not as energetic as cricket, maybe, but every bit as exciting when you know the game. But if golf's the game, there's a fine 18-hole course right by the sea. Ah, a right mess he made of that. Still, what's wrong for him is just right for nearly everyone else. Their one idea is to get on the sand and stay there. I work on the boats all through the summer, and I know what brings the same faces back year after year. It's the beach. There's miles of it, all real sand, and it's ideal for everybody. Being on the east coast, it gets the freshest fresh air, and facing south, it gets every bit of sun that's going, from morning till night. Any more for the motorboat? You bet there are. It isn't all airplanes yet, you know, and a good job too for me. Most likely they'll be running up to watch the sailing craft out for a day's racing. It's not so easy, mind, to get a boatload together when there's competition like this in the offing. Being a sailor, I reckon I've got a sharp enough eye for a pretty girl. But up in the pavilion, they've really got a job on their hands. They're choosing the ideal holiday girl for the year, and I wouldn't like to have to sort that lot out. Then again, perhaps I would. So they decide. Wink 'em, blink 'em, and nod, in that order. Clacton's so popular for family holidays because it's got something for everyone, and that applies especially to the pier. No wonder it's famous. There's so much going on, it's almost a holiday on its own. I reckon the pier swimming pool's a wonderful spot for the family. It's just the place to teach the kiddies. After all, it isn't everyone can boast they learn their swimming over the sea. With all that energy used up, they'll be quite content to sit back for an afternoon with a concert party. I don't suppose Dad'll finally get off the pier without someone wanting a ride in the speedboat. Once they've had a taste of the speedboat and my boat, their minds will turn to bigger things. An afternoon cruising up the Blackwater River, and maybe, before they go home, a day trip to France. There's always one day when I don't have to worry about boat trips. carnival there. Everybody's up in the town to see the procession. So I collect my own family together and join the crowd. After the parade that's my problem. I want to see a show, the wife fancies a cinema, and the daughter wants to go dancing. If you're not careful, that sort of argument can end up with fireworks. Yep, that's Clacton for you, once summer's come. As old Shakespeare nearly said, once more onto the beach, dear friends. Clacton Beach, of course.